Hello guys, this is Adam. I hope that you are doing good, and today we have the Obsbot, and basically that is the wireless microphone. And also with the microphone we actually have the camera or the webcam. It's called OBS Tiny 3 Lite. Let's go ahead and unbox it right here. This is the box for it. And a full disclosure, this was sent to me by Obsbot, so thanks to them, but no money was exchanged in any shape or form because I was really interested in that product and I just wanted to review it. Here we go. With that, we should be able to open it. As you can see right here, this reminds me a lot of Apple products actually in terms of the packaging. The packaging so far is very premium. You do have some brochure and instruction video, I believe, and all of that stuff, but we will figure it out. And then here we have the camera, which looks really nice. And by the way, this is a new product. They only have released recently, and it has been about a month since it was released. It's very tiny in the hand, but the movement here, the motors for it are very smooth. They do not go 360 degrees like all the way. They do have a very wide angle. The cable is USB-C to USB-C. Or let's say you have a Windows computer or whatever that might be that doesn't have a USB-C, you can simply put that in here and you end up having the normal USB, so you should be good to go. Next product right here, which actually I am more interested in the microphone rather than the camera. Wireless microphone, and I want to see what the quality would look like with that. Oh, so we have a pouch. That's nice. Let's go ahead and then see what the pouch has. I would assume that the microphone is inside, and of course we will try it out and then we will see how the microphone actually works. This is to be plugged, has magnetic in it. That's really nice. So you do have a dead cat, and basically that's to make sure that the audio is not catching the wind. That's actually really nice. I believe this is the microphone itself. It's very tiny and I like the size of it. That's the microphone right here, and then we're gonna install it in a second and then we will see. Yep, as expected, it's just gonna connect magnetically, and then you can have this clipped to your clothes because it's simply through magnet. That's really cool. Is that a cable right here? So does that mean we need to charge it? So if that is the case, we will actually put it to charge before we start using it. I believe this is the charging station, maybe? Yep, this is the charging station right here as expected. As you can see, it's USB-C, and then with the USB-C you have that right. So I have charged it a little bit, and as you can see, when it's charged or it has some charging, it has a green light right here. And then I connected the dead cat on top of it, and simply you connect it here from the back and it just clips on, and it was a very easy process. So right now everything is recording, and as you can see the camera is looking up, and that is by like on purpose because I actually want it to follow me. So I have it set to a single-handed mode where it would actually do the hand gesture, and then as you can see, just by me pointing, it actually managed to catch me that. And then if I say hey tiny, it would actually focus. So this is basically the Obsbot Tiny 3 camera, and that is the Lite version. And as you can see, that's how the quality it is for it, and with the lighting that I have and this quick setup that I have, and I have it set up to follow me as well, and I will be talking about that in a second. But it's actually really cool because it can move. Like even if I stand up, this should actually yeah, like I do not need to move the Mac like here in the back, or I'm afraid I'm gonna hit the ceiling in a second. It's actually the ceiling is and then following me. So with that being said, so now it's being adjusted a little bit, so that's good. This is the setup. So we have the Obsbot center on the side. All the audio that you are hearing actually is from the Obsbot Vox SE. So all the audio that you are hearing is from that device, so you can know how the audio sounds like. I have these recording audio to double check just in case the audio from this microphone get disconnected, but it's a green and it's recording, and there is this dead cat on top of it, so we should be fine. I don't think that's gonna be something else and it's gonna record the audio from that. If that happens, I will let you know, and you should probably know about that, but everything is recording from here. So There are a few modes. In terms of you want to do slow motion, you can actually go to slow motion right here. Slow motion, you can only record in 1080p, either 120 frames or 720p, and then 120 frames as well. As you can see, these are the options. So there's that. But I have set it to normal, so I do not want anything to be, let's say, slow motion, and then I'm gonna do that as well. And in terms of the recording, we are recording 4K 30 FPS, as you can see here at the bottom, and I can actually double check. There you go. I do not think tracking is set up right now, so it's not tracking me, but I will fix that in a second. For tracking modes, you do have the tracking right here. There is single mode, and then there is group mode. We can do single mode, and then single mode, it knows that there is one person, and then it will be following that one person just like that. Now we're gonna turn that off. In terms of the tracking speed, you can set it to fast, which what I have it to. You can set it to standard, and you can set it to slow. You can definitely test that on your end. And then there is what I like the most, which I tested at the very beginning, and that is voice tracking. So I'm gonna put it to voice tracking. Here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna have it look up to the sky. Hey Tiny. Okay. So now it's actually following my voice. So basically you increase it a little bit, and then after that you say hey Tiny, and then it follows you. So if I go to that side, it's following me. If I go to that side, it's following me as well. So that is good. That's in terms of the voice tracking. My belief thus far is that the voice tracking is more accurate than actually the face tracking or whatever that might be, because it can follow your voice and then it will. So there is that. Now you can set it to hand gestures, and then with hand gestures, it will basically follow your hands. So whatever you do, it's gonna follow your hand, which is very weird. Hand tracking, I do not recommend. Voice tracking, 100%, and then face tracking, you can use that as well. So there is that. But I'm gonna set it to standard so we can see standard as well. Here you do have controls. You can actually control it from here, or you can simply control it just like that and control it through the thingy, like directly on the monitor. So it would actually directly on the preview, you can have it, you know, follow you and do whatever. So basically this is me controlling it right now, and when it's back to voice tracking, it should be back to tracking you as normal. So here we go, and that's that. So you know, that's cool. That all of that is good and dandy. This is the pro mode, and I do not like the pro mode, and I will get into that in a second. Now there is this called a beauty mode. You can set it where you can adjust the beauty and stuff. I am against that stuff. I will not click it. It's a principle thing. I will not deal with it. I will not work with it at all. I hate it. I do not like it. I'm just against it. It's there. Anything that is related to having filters or whatever that might be, I am not a fan of. You can go to the settings. So here in the settings, you have the device management, and I do have the Tiny 3 Lite right here. And in the general settings, actually, you can here go to Lite mode. Let's go to Lite mode. Probably it's gonna shut down. And here basically what happens is you have the tracking at the bottom. So tracking now is enabled, so it will follow you. And what I like about it is pretty much simplified. And then here you have your controls, just like how we had it a second ago. So there's that. You can set it to normal, so you'll be good to go. And then in terms of your slow motion, that's what you have. And here you have your preview off. Or you can simply do preview on, and preview on, you can see yourself over there. Don't think it gets bigger than that, and then you can just click that, and then it will show that in full. I like this mode because usually my case with stuff like that is that you need to have the least friction between you and the technology that you are using. Like, you do not want things to be more complicated than they should be. That's why I appreciate this Lite mode, because you go in there, you simply click record, and then you will be good to go, and there is nothing to worry about other than that. And that is something I do appreciate, because I do not like technology to stand in the way of you, whether you want to create, whether you want to be on a call, or whatever that might be, because that pro mode just too much options, and I think they are not necessary. Having an option for you just to do what you need to do, I think that's a much better approach overall, and that's something I will be an advocate for. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know what you think of the microphone. Honestly, I'm excited about microphone more than the camera, but the microphone, you know, it's a microphone. Like, you connect it and then you record the audio and then you will be good to go. But I really like that the microphone is actually Bluetooth, and then I just have it hanged here with the dead cat, and that is it. That's something I do appreciate. And then for the camera is there, and it's tracking your face and all of that fun stuff. Also, if you want to get this for yourself, which is the Obsbot Tiny 3 Lite, or if you want to get the Obsbot Vox SE, you can actually do that, and I will leave the links for you in the description.